Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, hosting Cruz, and guys, ladies and gentlemen, your new IBF Junior Welterweight World Champion is set to make his return to the ring to defend his world title. His newly won world title after causing a major upset in Manatí, Puerto Rico back on June 15th against Matias, who's been labeled as not only one of the top 140s, but the boogeyman of the division. You know, hard punching style, awkward hard punching style, punches and punches, pressure, durable chin, has a history of putting a fighter in a casket. You know, any fighter that puts another fighter in a casket, you know, from a result of a fight is a dangerous fighter. And Subriel, even though losing to Paro, even though I felt that wasn't the best Subriel, it is what it is. That's just how I feel. Even though, you know, he lost, he's still one of the best 140s to date. You know, don't get it twisted. You know, I wish Subriel could have got his rematch, but based on what I heard, and I must have forgotten that this fight with Matias and Paro, you know, the loser, Matias does not get a rematch clause. It was part of the contract. It was part of the agreement that there was no rematch clause in this fight. So Matias lost, and he doesn't get no rematch. So he's gonna have to work his way back up. That's what he's doing on November 9th. But this video is not really about Matias. This is about Paro versus another top 10 junior welterweight, his IBF mandatory, in Richardson Hitchins, 18-0, 7 KOs, who has spoken about competing in the IBF for the IBF title not too long ago. In a video that I posted about there was a time that I made a video about Matias fight, and you know, opponents running and ducking from him, and Hitchison was one of those, saying that I would saying in a video, I would fight for the IBF. This is his word. I would fight for the IBF, but because Matias is champion, I wouldn't take that chance. I wouldn't take that risk. Now I would do it if it was another fighter holding the IBF title, but because of Matias holding the IBF title, I wouldn't take that chance to go the IBF route. So Matias lost, and now that Paro has the belt, Hitchins is gonna go for it. He gave the mandatory, so he ain't running no place. Matias is no longer the champion, so he's gonna take the fight. Now this fight is being discussed and planned for December 7th in Puerto Rico. Now it's kind of strange for this fight to be taking place in Puerto Rico. Don't get me wrong, it's a solid fight, but I remember in the beginning, like right after Paro, a little after Paro beat Matias, they were saying Paro was going to defend in Australia. And there were rumors that it was going to be against George Kambosos, you know, to have an all-Australian showdown. I would expect this fight to be in Australia or in the States. It's kind of, I was not, and I'm sure many of you were not expecting this fight to take place in Puerto Rico. And it's funny because I've talked about this before to my dad, not in any of my videos really, but to my dad, and I told him that Puerto Rico can be a place that you can bring any fights to. You know, you can treat it like the States. You know, doesn't have to, because most cards in Puerto Rico, the main event has a Puerto Rican on it. You know, if it doesn't have a Puerto Rican on the main event, they're not gonna do a show. So, and I said to myself and to my dad that Puerto Rico doesn't always have to. Puerto Rico can bring fights that don't have anything to do with Puerto Rico in the main event. Tank Davis can make a title defense in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico can be treated like a state when it comes to boxing events because they have the venues for them. Like back in the day, Muhammad Ali fought in Puerto Rico in the Coliseo Roberto Clemente. George Foreman fought there too. So it has happened in the past. But nowadays, to see a non-Puerto Rican in the main event on a boxing match, on a boxing card in Puerto Rico is very strange and very rare nowadays, like I said. But it's happening. It's happening, and the talks are strong. December 7th in Puerto Rico, Liam Paro is coming back to Puerto Rico after beating Matias to defend that same title against his IBF mandatory, Richardson Hitchins. Like I said, it's a solid fight, pretty good fight. It's kind of strange, like I said, for it to be taking place in Puerto Rico. My only issue with this fight, and there was no rematch clause that was part of the agreement for the fight for Paro Matias. That Matias, if he had lose, there was no rematch clause. But I feel that because Paro is being planned to come back to Puerto Rico and defend, and there's no Puerto Rican in the main event, I say, why not give Matias his rematch? Give Matias a chance, an opportunity to avenge his loss, and try to give him an opportunity to get his title back. Because, they're doing it back home in Puerto Rico. Matias, I think he deserves a rematch. He was the champion. Paro was the mandatory, so I won't say because Matias gave him a shot, Paro should. But I just feel because they're going back to Puerto Rico, why not have that rematch? And I know a lot of fans would like to see it. I know Matias will perform better. He's going to let his hands go more. He ain't going to gas out like he did in the 6th round because Matias doesn't gas out. And he does not stop throw punches. 85 punches per round. We didn't see that. And Paro didn't put on a performance like that would make you say, wow, Paro is just as dangerous as Matias. And he destroying Matias. We didn't see nothing like that. Paro just did enough to win. In my opinion, he was just lucky that Matias gassed out in the 6th round because he was about to quit. Matias didn't throw not even close to 85 punches per round like he normally does. So something was off that night about Matias, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But, so yeah, we're here. We're here now. Paro versus Hitchison, December 7th. Another matchroom card. Eddie Hearn will be making his return to Puerto Rico for this card. Like many fans were saying, it's kind of strange for this fight to take place in Puerto Rico. You would think it would take place in the States or in Australia. Paro, because of winning the fight, I felt he deserves he deserves to defend at home. Let Hitchison travel to Australia for that title, for that fight. But they're going back home they're going back to Puerto Rico, and Richardson Hitchins, guys, he last fought Gustavo Lemos, who will be fighting Keyshawn Davis on November 8th in Norfolk, Virginia. So both guys are coming in with solid wins. Of course, Paro coming in with a major victory and upset, one of the biggest upsets this year against Matias. So this is it. Let me know what you guys think about this fight. Liam Paro versus Richardson Hitchins for the IBF Junior Welterweight title. Liam Paro coming back to Puerto Rico to defend his title against Richardson Hitchins in a fight that's pretty good, pretty solid. This fight can go either way for me, honestly, stylistically. Like I said, it's taking place in Puerto Rico. It's kind of strange. Did not expect that. But it seems to me that's where Eddie Hearn Matchroom is gonna host this fight. And yeah, there you have it. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host of Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.